Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new or just clicked on this video, thank you very much. My name is Alexis and this is the Goddess of Daydreams Tarot. Today I'm going to be talking about a topic that, well, it seems that a lot of people are aware of right now in the country of the USA and likely all over the world, and that is the Epstein files. Over the weekend, at the time that I'm doing this, it is the 3rd of February, and we just got a huge batch of information, and it's definitely quite overwhelming for a lot of people in the collective. Those who have already known, and those that are just starting to go down the rabbit hole. This is extremely overwhelming. This is just horrendous, and it's all of the bad words. Let's just say that. I do want to talk about that with all of this information coming out. I do trust and believe that there is a way we can all overcome the stress, the anxiety, the sadness, and the anger, and we can move forward as as a group of decent people and start correcting these energies. But this is going to be a big collective effort, and it's going to depend on everyone's, I would say, not quite, yeah, cooperation, but also what everyone is meant to do. Now, for those of you in the collective, I have, talked about it many times in my channel, and I had recently started talking about this a little bit more strongly, is knowing who you are and knowing your power. This is going to be extremely important during these times, especially for the esoteric community, because as this information is coming out, I truly believe that this can be used to our advantage, and how we can use this information to call upon certain type of help, to focus on certain type of healing, and how to overcome these very demonic forces. So one of the things that I had noticed, well, I was specifically paying attention to in the files, is basically how Epstein, and it seems a large group of people, how they were doing certain rituals, working with certain, I don't even want to say the names, but definitely working with certain satanic deities, or at least evil deities. We also had like a couple of documents talking about, oh yeah, there was one that was very interesting, how Epstein had managed to get a piece of the Kaab, which is that cloth that's in Mecca that surrounds that giant cube. He managed to get a few pieces of that. So that's definitely going to be a huge red flag. People don't know why he may have used, why he wanted it or used it for, but in the esoteric community, we already have a couple of ideas what he was planning to do with that. We also have in the files, thanks to Deepak Chopra, talking about timeline wars and portals. So they were definitely messing with energies like that. And even to a case about finding a Nephilim, or like the a chamber of a Nephilim. So these people are very extensively deep and well knowledge when it comes to these dark ritualistic behavior and practices. But now that it has come into light, and people are starting to be aware, we have a way of counteracting these type of spell works, and we can correct the timeline. I'm saying, actually, as I'm speaking, I believe we are already correcting the timeline that we're supposed to be in right now. So I'm going to kind of start off with my advice though on how to navigate through this energy, and this could be for the esoteric collective. This could also be for someone who is just finding out all these things, and did not was probably once did not believe a conspiracy theory, but now they're like questioning conspiracy theory. This reading is definitely for you. So the first thing I'm going to say to those who did not believe and are seeing the truth now, you have to forgive yourself. And for those of you in the collective that you might know someone that is in shock and doesn't know how to process what is going on, you have to tell them you have to forgive yourself. Forgiveness is going to be very important in this situation because even for some of us in the collective now, we were once, under the spell of the world is as it is, life is unfair, you don't think too much. Oh, I'm probably thinking crazy. We were in that kind of spell, and then we snapped out of it in some time in our life. And we have learned to forgive ourselves because we did not know any better. We were not exposed to the truth, and we were just constantly surrounded by lies and the illusions that these people have placed on purpose. And for those of you that, again, having a hard time wrapping around what's happening, you have to forgive yourself because they did play a really good mind trick game on the masses. And you probably feel like, I'm a fool. I should have listened to A, B, and C, and D when they were saying something. Now you are aware of the truth. What you can do is just at least accept that I know what I know now and I'm no longer in the dark. You have, even though this is so excruciating dark to process, I would say be grateful that this has come into light so that way I am no longer in the spell of the illusion. I break myself from this illusion. And the next thing that I'm going to mention as advice is start calling your energy back. Now that you're aware that certain things have been made up, have been constructed to make you think and act a certain way, what you can now do is call your energy back. There are plenty of meditations on YouTube to help you call your energy back. There are other Reikis that can help you call your energy back. Or if you feel comfortable going to a place of worship, either a church that you trust, a mosque that you trust, even in nature, whatever you feel connected and close to the divine or to divine energies, you go there and you call your energy back. Because what this has done is for this was a collective, a mass collection of energy from society, putting them again under a spell, under illusions. And as they are under spells and illusions and under control by these evil people, they drain our energy, they drain our time, they drain our wealth, they drain our health. But now that you are aware of these things, those powers no longer have control over you. So every day, even though you're witnessing all of these horrors, and there is still more information to come, because I don't believe that this is going to be the end of it. It has been talked about throughout maybe the past 2-3 years, how when certain shifts start happening, illusions were going to dissolve and truths were going to come out. So, excuse me while I take a sip of water. So this was already divinely orchestrated for this to come out, because eventually what is in the dark has to come into light. Now that these things are coming into light, you have the chance to call back your power, to call back your energy, to call back your peace. That is a way for you to at least start having some type of control in your life in this situation. The last thing that I was also going to mention is, and I kind of stressed this the other day in my in-book reading, and this is more for the collective who are into their practices and in their rituals, make sure that you know who you're connecting to, and make sure that you are doing what is necessary when you are practicing or connecting to this deity. So, for those of you that are focusing on healing, make sure that you are connecting to the right healing energy or to the healing deity, and request to them a healing for the collective that is going through this. For those of you that are more connected into the protective energies and the protective deities, continue working with those deities in the right ways and such, and request for them to give the protection for the collective, because people are still preying upon those that are waking up from this illusion. And even I'm going to stretch it to those who practice the chaos magic. Again, know who you're connecting and know what you're doing, because I think you are going to be required to, stir the pot a little bit for some of these energies to come out. I am going to say with the chaotic community, please take caution, because these entities that these people have worked with, they have been working with for a long time. So it's best, to talk to whatever chaotic energy that you use, how to navigate through this situation. But overall, I would suggest for everyone, know your strength, know your power, and know which energy, deity, or God that you're connecting to, and ask Him to help restore or replenish or heal or strengthen the collective. Once there is some type of replenishment, then we'll be able to go on and make the next steps to start correcting these energies. Because right now, people are like, I remember someone was talking about, like, I can't even believe what I'm reading. Like, I thought everything that was, but this is not, like, nothing is real. All of this is fake. All of this was just planned. And it's going to take some time for people to get grounded in this new reality. So I know for some people, we're acting like, why aren't we rising up now? Why aren't we fighting? Why aren't we doing this and that? And that's a good point. We should be on the streets, bringing these people down. But I also have to realize that a lot of people have been under, and a lot of us have to realize, a lot of the collective has been under this spell, under this illusion. And right now, it's like a bubble just burst, and they don't know what the hell is going on. So we have to ground these people before we can move forward. And I believe God and whatever energies that are with us will give us the instructions, in the near future to come. So that is my take. But I do want to get advice from Spirit and our teams to see what else can we do during this time. Because, yeah, like I said, we're living in unprecedented times. So we need to move accordingly, call back our energy, and be a little bit more forgiving of ourselves and for others. Also, the other advice that I'm going to give, and this is also extremely important, do not engage with those who are still in the matrix, in the 3D, because either these people love the chaos and thrive in the chaos, or they're not real and they're just there to cause chaos and sadness and confusion for the collective. Do not engage with them. They are not real. All right. I guess I will take these two. Okay. So the first card that I have is the Chariot. There will be movement. There will be a direction given to the collective who have been aware of this issues, and those who are just starting to become aware. and for the universe, in order to send you the directions that, or at least a path for you to be on, you must be grounded. You must be focused. For some of you, you might need to do a couple of root chakra meditations. Really get yourself situated. I know it's hard, but it has to be done in order for this chariot to begin. I also feel by Cancer season, there's definitely going to be a shift when it comes to taking action against these people or against these groups. How that's going to look, I'm not too sure. But with the chariot, it's definitely going to be shifting to us, the collective. Next I have is the Eight of Cups. So here, this again kind of reminds me of what I was just saying. Don't engage to those who don't want to believe that the truth is the truth. They are going to be looking for some type of excuse, or, some type of, what's the word for it, spirit? They're going to be, let's just say they're going to be looking for some type of excuse to believe that everything is just made up, everything is AI, none of this is real. Those are distractions, or these are going to be people looking for energies to distract themselves from the truth. See, this is going to be everyone else walking away from the illusions, from the lies, while those who want to stay stuck will remain stuck. There are certain people that you're not going to be able to save. Once you know, you have to move forward and go to those who are aware of, how dire the situation in this reality is. You are going to be taking some type of action. Don't dwell on those who want to remain and keep things remaining the same. It's not going to serve you any longer. For some of you, you are going to probably be abandoning certain things that you probably feel like have contributed to these energies in society. I think for some of you, you're going to realize, like, whatever power position that you hold, that it feeds these type of demonic forces, and you're no longer going to be a part of that. So already that's more energies and cycles that are being broken that will weaken these energies. Next I have is the Seven of Pentacles. I know this is like infuriating, but this is kind of like the patient game, the waiting game. And you're probably thinking, like, why are we waiting for? So then they can continue torturing and abusing children and using our time and energy. I'm going to say the patient game or the waiting game is important because, again, a lot of people are in, like, again, their bubble has been burst. Their life is upside down right now. People are having a hard time figuring out what is right and wrong, what is real, what it's not. Was this authentic, or was this made for someone's enjoyment? We're going to have to play the waiting game so people can get some type of grounding and understanding within themselves. When that time comes, action will happen. People are going to take what they need or take what they realize, and they're going to move forward and leave what doesn't serve. And then last I have is the King of Pentacles. I know things seem to be like lost and fucked up at the same time, but with this King of Pentacles, I do see a positive outcome for the collective when it comes to fighting these type of energies. I see we're going to be a lot more stronger and grounded. And with the King of Pentacles, I kind of see more like an increase of stability when it comes to the numbers. Give me a second. Now, I'm also looking at this King of Pentacles, and with this ox here, you see how this ox is bending? I take it as a positive omen. Now, if some of you have been again reading some of the files when it comes to like their ritualistic practices, you know they um follow a certain evil deity that is associated with like the ox or the ram. But with this animal bowing down, they're definitely going to be backing off, or they're going to be subdued. Let me get an extra card for this King of Pentacles. Oh, interesting. Okay, I'm going to take these two. Oh, and I'll take this as well. So with the King of Pentacles, I have the Seven of Cups along with the Seven of Swords. So a lot of sevens are coming out here. But with the Seven of Cups and the Seven of Swords, whatever plans or schemes that they plan to continue controlling the masses, either a lot of them are going to get so wrapped up in doing whatever evil that they're not going to realize that the evil is going to make them succumb to whatever ailment or illness. Because I'm looking at this snake at the bottom here wrapped around. You see how this person is all into just the jewels and everything and taking what's there, but they're not realizing that the danger that is around them. So I do sense that for those that have been focusing on getting the riches, the control, and the power, for those of them that are in the files, there's definitely going to be coming in to collect. Hold on. Spirit tells me that now that their scheme has been found out or has come into light, whatever evils that they have been working, they say, whatever you have done can no longer work. So I am coming to collect. I cannot collect from the masses, so I am going to collect from you. And then we have the Seven of Swords. So what the Seven of Swords is for those that are going to do some type of scheme or trap to hurt the collective or to hurt the masses. I do see that they're going to end up getting caught in a trap that they probably set up that they forgot. So you have those in the files that are focused on just consuming and living a certain light and doing things in a certain way, that they're not going to realize that the evil is coming to collect them. And then there's going to be those in the files that are trying to plant some type of, some type of, brain, get it together. They're planning some type of, I'm going to say like some type of catastrophe. And, again, for those of you that have been reading the files, you can see that they were planning certain catastrophes to happen. But this time when they are planning or trying to execute these catastrophes, they are going to end up getting caught in something that they have set up either for others or for them a while back. Is this going to be like a spell work or like a trap that they have set for others that they're going to end up falling in because they're so focused on, again, trying to control the masses and controlling those that are of light and of power, that they're not gonna realize that they're walking into their own setup, to their own evil. Then I have at the bottom of the deck Judgment. I love that this card is here because it just lets you know that God sees all and God will not allow them to get away with this. Give me a second. God will be calling those that work with the light, that are of good, and that are of justice. God will make them rise. And whoever has been using the dark forces to hurt and harm the innocent, they will fall. But part of us are going to be the equation. There's going to be some things that the collective must do, in other ways for the universe to meet us halfway. So we need to do our part to help those that are trying to navigate the situation and our awakening of what's happening in what's happening in the world. That is going to be our role, while the universe is going to be doing its divine timing and karmic lessons for those, again, who have hurt and harmed the innocents. Give me a second. I'm going to wrap up this reading. I'm going to pull some oracles, see some positive energies. All right, let me get 2 more, Spirit. Okay, I was okay. I shouldn't be laughing, but I'm so glad I'm kind of right on the nose. So, first card I'm going to talk about is Rose Quartz, empathy. Have empathy for those that are awakening and realizing the truth. Have empathy for those that realize that they have, done wrong by, calling people conspiracy theorists or schizophrenic. Have a little bit of empathy for them, because again, they were under the illusion. Do not have empathy for those who insist that everything is a lie and that everything is, or is fake. Only have, don't focus your energy on those people. Focus on the empathy energy to those that definitely are sorry for how they acted, and those who are in fear or in anxiety of the energy and the world that they're in, or realizing that they're in. Next card I have is Garnet, bravery. We definitely need to work on the brave aspect of the collective. I sense for some of you already in the collective, you're like, oh, I've been born ready to fight. I'm ready to take it on, take it to the streets. Understandable, but our numbers need to continue to grow. And a lot of people are not feeling as brave as they should be. We need to remind the people, including ourselves, that we have the power to make the change. We have the power to switch up the timeline. We have the power to subdue the evils that have been plaguing the world. We have that power. We just have to tap into it. The more the numbers, get it together. The more the numbers grow, the more we're going to feel more positive when it comes to our bravery and facing these energies. Because eventually we're going to have to face this. I know right now in our government, for those of are in the US, I know our government is busy saying like, we're not going to do anything. There's nothing to look at. Everything is like wrapped up. We're dusting our hands and that's it. No, this is not the end. This is just only a victory for the battle, but the war is not over yet. Now, the last card I have is Spirit Quartz with patience. So again, kind of like with the 7 of Pentacles, we need to be patient during this time. We need to help heal and guide people. We also need to heal ourselves and call back our energies. We need to be, getting used to whatever energies or deities that we are working with, and the energy and the power that is within us, and how to execute it. I'm going to also suggest for those who work with the deities or the energies of justices and balances, this is definitely going to be your time to shine. Start doing a lot of heavy ritual work when it comes to bringing in justice and balance into the world. You guys are definitely going to be needed heavily during this time. And if you need help, seek out the help. There's a lot of us in the collective that maybe may not be too familiar, but can at least help, like giving a hand or giving some type of assistance, or at least making certain connections. Again, let us grow in numbers. Let us get ourselves grounded and situated. That way, we have the strength that we need to take down these energies. So yeah, I know the waiting game is not ideal, but through these cards and what Spirit has told me, the patience is going to be the key. We have our part to do, and so does the universe. And with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Please give it a like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more insight and messages. I will definitely appreciate it, and it will give tremendous support. And thank you to the new and current viewers and subscribers for coming back to my channel to hear these messages. I hope that my readings are giving you the clarity, insight, and answers or solutions that you need during your spiritual path. Excuse me. And if you feel that this reading did not resonate, no worries. Feel free to check out the other readings on my channel. There's definitely a message there for you. So my collective, this is what I have when it comes to navigating the energy of the Epstein files and the steps that are required for all of us to do in order to take these energies down. The illusion is dissolving. Spells are being broken. Don't believe, especially on TV, that we are powerless and we can't do anything about it. That is just them enforcing the illusion spell. We have to break it. We cannot go back to the old reality. That reality was false. That reality was made up. We already are in a new shift, and we cannot go back to the old. And for those that still want to remain in the old, you can remain in the old, but you cannot force the ones that have woken up to go back to sleep. And those of you who have woken up, congratulations. I'm sorry that you had to wake up with such violence and horror to witness, but you have woken up and you're no longer under the illusion. So you at least should pat yourself on the back and now go and seek out the healing and calling back your power and energy from these people. I do believe that within this year, we are going to see another powerful shift, and it will work in our favor. But you must have trust and faith in yourself and of the good of the people that are still in this world, trying to do better, trying to correct things. It will happen. It will be so, or so it is. And with that said, stay safe and have a good day.